Jim's like the autism whisperer to my son.
He was very good.
He's the only one who can get through to him.
He was.
And
there was some connection in some way, whether that's, I don't know what it was.
So now that's completely broken off? He doesn't visit your son?
No.
Jenny McCarthy's shocking confession on the Howard Stern show that her ex, Jim Carrey, dropped her son after they split. The big debate, does Jim owe it to her son to stay in touch even though he and Jenny aren't together anymore? It's a showbiz love drama. You heard it. Jenny McCarthy is saying that Jim Carrey turned his back on her autistic son after Jenny and Jim broke up. Jim and Jenny dated for 5 years, and during that time, Jenny's 10-year-old son, Evan, became seriously attached to Jim. But is it unfair to expect Jim to stay in touch with Jenny's son after they split up? Ralphie Versa of the Ralphie Radio Show and Jen Hobby, co-host of The Burt Show, are with me now. So, guys, Jenny McCarthy made her big confession on Howard Stern's radio show, and I want you to listen to the entire exchange. Roll that, Charles.
This isn't about you and Jim anymore.
No, I know that.
He almost became like a father, and especially with an autistic kid, they develop an attachment.
I've tried to ask numerous times because my son still asks. So I'm hoping that they.
Your son will say to you before he goes to bed at night, "Hey, I miss Jim. Where is he?"
Almost weekly.
Wow. And so, have you told Jim that?
I've gone through the channels to say that.
So
yes,
you
I'm
can't
hoping.
talk directly to Jim anymore?
I haven't. I think sometimes people just need to take a real break from each other.
Okay, now obviously we don't know all the details of exactly what's going down here, but I think that it is truly sad, and it's obviously unfortunate when a little boy doesn't get to see someone who is very important in his life like this. Ralphie, do you see it that way?
I do see it that way, AJ. At the same time, has Jenny explained to her son that the reason why her and Jim aren't together, at least one of the major reasons allegedly, is the depression that Jim has dealt with? And, I mean, do you want somebody that's dealing with depression around any of your children, let alone an autistic child?
Well, I do know that Jenny talked about that depression being a factor on the Howard Stern show. Don't know what she's communicated with her son specifically, obviously. Jen, what's your take? Is it relationship over, clean break all around in your mind?
The whole situation is really heartbreaking because you can imagine it's so difficult to explain to Evan why this father figure in his life isn't there anymore. But I do think that Jim Carrey's right. A clean break is what they need here. It's very confusing for the child, but at the same time, if he and Jenny aren't going to be together, he's got to be able to move on with his life, and Evan's got to go with her.
Yeah, and being in and out of Evan's life may not be healthy either, obviously. And I can tell you, Jim Carrey's already striking back at Jenny McCarthy. Listen to what he just said. He said, "I will always do what I believe is the best interest of Evan's well-being. It's unfortunate that Evan's privacy is not being considered. I love Evan very much and will miss him always." That's what he's telling Showbiz Tonight, Ralphie. And I get that. Do you think that Jenny maybe said too much?
Absolutely, and doesn't this happen all the time when somebody goes on Howard Stern's show? He has a way of getting this private information out of celebrities. I wish I knew how to do it. I'm trying to get a little better at it. But Jim Carrey's absolutely right here. Jenny McCarthy maybe needs to take some of that laundry and get it back onto the private side of things.
Well, obviously, it was a very compelling interview. It was interesting to hear what she had to say. But sometimes, for the sake of a young kid's privacy, yeah, you just got to keep it shut.